Oh, well, okay, all right. Good evening and welcome to the Monday, December 4th, 2023 meeting of the East Lampeter Township Board of Supervisors. This evening's meeting is being recorded. We're using Zoom. The recording will be on the Township's YouTube channel. And all members of the board are in the meeting room this evening. There's no member of the board coming in remotely. We're joined by several staff members. If anyone calls in or is interested in participating remotely, staff will let us know, and then we'll answer that individual's question. And you'll do that with a recording. The recording isn't working, so you get me. So, okay. All right. If you'd please rise and join me in saying the pledge to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our agendas at the back of the room on the table. There's also a log at the back of the table for your signature. If you please leave us your name that you were in attendance, we do need that for the public record. Okay, there was a board executive session prior to this meeting this evening. Do need to put that out there for public knowledge, and that was to discuss police contract. Okay, item number 3. Is there anyone here who would like to make public comment to the Board of Supervisors for non-agenda items? So if there's something here on the agenda you want to speak to, hold off until that time. If not, you want to address the Board of Supervisors, please do that now. Okay, great, thank you. All right, we'll move on. Item number 4 is the consent agenda. We have 4A, approval of the December 4th, 2023 Board of Supervisors meeting agenda. We have approval of the minutes of the Monday, November 13th, 2023 regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We have 4C, approval of financial security reduction, Beechdale Farms LLC, 458 Beechdale Road. That would be reducing that to, where am I at here? I guess just when oh yeah, there we go. Would be reducing it by $10,175. We have 4D, a request for time extension for conditionally approved land development plan number 22-24 Larambo Farms at 458 Mount Sydney Road. I guess that takes it out to June 18th, 2024 with a 6-month extension. 4E, a request for time extension for the board, the conditionally approved land development plan number 23-5 is for Dishes Furniture 2205-2217 Lincoln Highway East. That would take it out to March 27th of 2024. 4F, approval of the financial security reduction for Sundance Car Wash, 1728 Lincoln Highway East. Township engineer has reviewed that. It would leave, I guess it would reduce it by $166,596.82. Remaining balance of $14,226.92. 4G, approval of financial security release for Starbucks 525 Greenfield Road. It would release $407,736.45, $0 balance. And then approval to pay invoices from all funds for a total of $432,308.10. Of those items, of that, there are several items of note. $75,877.53 to McMahon Associates for the Route 30 Streetscape Engineering, $19,072.27, 10-8 Emergency Vehicle Upfit, $12,440 to Garden Spot Electric for repair and upgrades at Knowlton Mill, and $11,146 to Ronks Fire Company to reimburse them for auto insurance per our agreement with our fire companies. Okay, that's the consent agenda. What's your interest?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, motion by Corey, second by Ethan. Questions, concerns? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Item number 5, old business. Believe it or not, there is none. Item number 6 is new business. We have 6A, Treehouse Foods Stormwater Management Plan number 23-26, 2060 Old Philadelphia Pike. Is there someone here on behalf of Treehouse? Chris?
Good evening, Chris and Archie with RGS Associates here. As mentioned, for the stormwater management plan that's been provided to the township. The status of the project is we had last submitted in November, and then we've since received a review letter dated November 27th, 2023 from the township engineer. And the remaining items are, which I'm happy to like, that they are primary notations that need to be added to the plans. It's rolling. Would point out there is a zoning comment on the going to forward wall that's identified on the plan. And in talking to the design team, what we're looking to do is not have a wall, but actually just take up the grade in that corner, that intersection, to really preserve the trees, mature trees. If you're familiar with the site, across the street from Horseshoe Road, that was the dialogue with the owner, and perhaps staff. I'm pinch hitting for the project, so I don't have some of those historic conversations, but I've been told that again the desire was through some dialogue to contain that mature vegetation in the corner there. Hence, we can take up some of that grade to do that. Wall was his choice of words to use. It's really just an extended height. We know the maximum height will be 3 feet, the highest point of that curve. So I just want to provide that clarification. So we will change the plan to take one.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, the stormwater management indication cost estimate.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on this? The DMA letter of November 27th, 2023 is what Chris is referring to. Okay. All right, anything else? Yeah.
Clarify for me what this free facility.
The way I talk with the team is much like actually the PennDOT standard has gone to, where you know where the curves come around a corner, they actually depress it and you end up with an exposed curve. But this is just taller. Like your typical curve is 8 inches high. At the highest point, this will be 3 feet. So there's an elevation change there, but basically it's like a little almost cheek wall into the hillside there. There's a good example of it up in Ephrata, off of 322 and Bethany Road. Same situation, PennDOT application, where they just held back the grade a bit with just a taller curve. So you have your sidewalks coming in, and your depression for the handicap accessibility, and then just there's a little basically I call it a cheek wall curving to hold that earth back. So it's not a retaining wall in the sense that you have geotech reinforcement or gravity block wall. I believe my interpretation of the ordinance that's what you were trying to prevent from happening in a township or PennDOT right of way is, substantial structure.
So there's existing curb along the road's radius there now. So we're talking about replacing that curb with a taller curb, or are we talking about a curb behind that?
No, so to understand you is the curve of the street.
Yeah.
That is not being affected. This is for the sidewalk. So it'd be the back of the sidewalk.
Okay.
There's currently a taller curb behind where that ramp comes in now. Come on.
Yeah, there you go, Ethan. Thank you. And I mean, you mentioned something, Chris, up at 322 in Bethany. Yeah. I've seen, not just there, I've seen several places. I'm not sure if it's in our township, but I've seen other places in the county where that's done.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be clear that if the township is showing that's not the desired outcome, I don't think we reject it. If it's a solution that we try to be commonly done, it could be applied here. Again, save the tree. If we don't do it, we'll take out the tree.
The staff's concerned that it's greater, its purpose is something greater than what Chris is suggesting.
I just want to be clear as to exactly what
It is.
it was.
If-
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Okay. Anything else, gentlemen? Questions, concerns? Chris?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so, we have, I guess, the DMA letter of November 27th, 2023 with the notes, as presented from the engineer. So what you need to
Make a motion to accept with conditional approval of the stormwater management plan between 336 and pre-house pools and local. Subject to the review comments of township engineer, letter, DNA letter of November 27th.
and the note clarifying the boulder wall, that note,
Number one.
yeah, under zoning. So it is to be addressed as you're suggesting, for so right. Perfect.
And I should probably note that there's a modification request as well in case there's any questions about that.
Understanding that under location of the boulder wall is really a curved structure.
Second. Yeah, motion by Mike, second by Roger. Comments, questions, thoughts?
Was there a cost estimate submitted, or would that be done later?
You know, I knew the answer to that. I remember I asked Joyce about. She said there was an event, certainly will be for that. I'm very excited.
Appreciate that. Okay, comments? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate that. Thank you. Public, any comment from the public here? Any comment from the public? We move on. Thank you. 6B, a request for waiver of land development planning, Country Acres Campground, 2011 Road. Is there someone here on behalf of the applicant? Yes. Well, introduce yourself if you would, please.
Jonathan Smucker, representing excavators. For a waiver of development for some work being done on our pavilion. Do you guys have we can again together and calculations there, and then basically zero addition of impervious. Just a little background for the board. We have this pavilion's at least 35 years old. Some cracking is happening on the concrete floor. We're getting a new concrete floor as we look to do that. We've grown the campground by about 45 sites since this pavilion was built. So we're just enlarging on both ends, as you can see, and then removing some impervious so that we're at a net zero.
Good.
Thanks.
We always see businesses growing, John.
Yeah.
Planning Commission reviewed it, you know, at this point, you know, they're fully supportive of the requested waiver.
Yeah.
So, questions, thoughts, anything on?
Make a motion to approve the request for waiver of land development planning Country Acres Campground.
Okay, motion by Corey, second by Ethan. Questions about the motion? Nothing or nothing? Those in favor? Those opposed? It carries. Good luck. Yep. Okay, thanks for coming by us. Okay, item number 16, for waiver of land development planning, Millstream Motel, 170 East Brook Road. Is there someone here on behalf of the applicant? Yes. You're going to introduce yourself, please.
Good morning, like Michael Associates. I'm here representing the Millstream Country Inn. We're requesting a waiver of the land development so that we can add a front door underneath the existing canopy there. And the vestibule is going to be 72 square feet. No additional footprint to the roof, no additional impervious, no additional stormwater runoff, change roofs or occupancy. Basically, just kind of an environmental and a comfort for guests. We did receive our planning commission recommendation on the 14th of November. And no additional traffic, no change of sewer, water, all that. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I have plenty of plans with you if you need them, so.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, once again, the planning commission has reviewed it and they don't see any issues. Conditional recommendation. It's not triggering really any issues with, impervious surface, so.
Make a motion to approve the waiver of land development planning, Millstream Motel, 1 Covington Split Road.
Second.
A motion by Corey, second by Ethan. Questions? Concerns? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Anyone here from the public? On this? No? Okay. Congratulations. Item number 7, action items. Our action items 7A, appointment of county treasurer as our tax collector for the year 2024 and 2025.
So, for the election process, Mr. Buckwalter got the most votes. He's declined to accept the position. So the township needs to appoint a tax collector as a result. So we've used the county treasurer's office. I would recommend we continue to do that.
Motion.
Motion to approve the county county treasurer as tax collector for 2024 and 2025.
Second. Okay, second by Roger. Motion by Ethan, second by Roger. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Amber. More tax collector. 7B, appointment of David Buckwalter, fill the vacant Board of Auditors position for 2024 and 2025.
Yes, so also during the election, votes came in and Corey won that position. He can't fill that role because he's elected for the first year. So he's declined to accept the auditor position. Mr. Buckwalter has indicated his willingness to serve in that role as the board wishes to.
I do want to thank the 4 people that voted for me. I hope Lancaster newspapers will write an article about this. I beat Mr. Buckwalter by 33%, 4 votes to 3 votes. But unfortunately, because of state law, I have to decline the position. So
33% margin. Wow.
33% margin. I need the public to know that.
Hope you follow your campaign financial.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. David Buckwalter to fill vacant Board of Auditors position for 24 and 25, 2024, 2025.
Second. Motion by Corey. I think I gotta give it to Mike. He did say something under his. Yeah. Motion by Corey, second by Mike. We'll get you next time, Roger. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. 7C, Lancaster County Tax Collection Bureau CB Region Municipal Representative Appointments for 2024.
This is an annual representative and an alternate for that. I've been serving in that role in prior years. Chair is willing to continue to serve. 3 managers, Mike Morris, discussed it and we're recommending.
I'll give it to you.
Motion to approve, the LCT.
It'll just be myself and Jenna as the and alternate.
Rephrase that to
Hudson and Janet as the region municipal representatives.
For a second.
Second.
Motion by Roger, second by Mike. Those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Ralph, if I'm correct, you played a very central role in creating this service that is provided to the school districts, correct?
Well, what, do you really want me to go? over
Yeah, I do.
So, there was a legislation passed at the state level. It's called Act 32. And it was to restructure earned income tax collections across the state. Lancaster County was in kind of a unique position because the county had already, so on the county level to collect earned income taxes. And it had been initially created back in the 50s by the school districts. And Act 32, the way it was set up was to give municipalities a voice in handling that function of earned income tax collection. So yes, I was involved in how the county bureau was to be restructured to include municipal representation on their board. And it's worked.
Works very well. I appreciate that, Ralph. I was aware, I just didn't. No, thank you for the public works. Thank you, Ralph, for that. 7D, authorization to sell township equipment, which is no longer in use. Ralph.
Yeah, pieces of equipment have been replaced. And so we've got a boom mower, got a conveyor unloader, a tiger flail mower, some miscellaneous traffic cones, and that's what was used for on roads that we'd like to dispose of through auction. And they have a value together, which we believe will exceed $2,000, which is the threshold in the township code. And more than that, the board has to authorize us going forward. We do that using the auction site. It's called Municipid. Auction site was used in the past. And change these assets into cash instead of used equipment.
Excellent.
There's no, we're just covering liability for these pieces of equipment that back in the day, they were probably had warranties on it. Semi-dangerous in the way they operate, I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's old
Buyer
assets.
beware.
Yes.
Motion to authorize staff to sell the items as presented on municipal.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, motion by Ethan, second by Roger. Questions? I'm hearing none. Those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. Number 8, management report.
Yeah, just a few brief things I wanted to mention. Approved the cable TV time ago, and they've gotten to the point now where they've been designing their system and they're getting close to doing actual construction work. We've issued permits for them to excavate within township rights of way in various places around the township, and so that work is going to proceed. It's basically in of the community at this point, pretty much on the western side of the township. So you may be aware that they've been doing that in other townships in the county, and so we're hoping it goes smoothly, but you may hear things.
Yes.
About it. So I just want to
make sure you're aware. Yeah, my neighbors in West Lampeter, so one street over from us, have had them, coming through their front yards and hitting dog fences is the most common.
So Ralph, what are just real briefly, what are they doing physically? Digging lines?
They're excavating
Boxes.
in their rights of way and,
Yeah.
and doing so. Drilling, I guess, some directional boring to run their facilities in the rights of way.
Yeah.
So it does disturb, you know, sometimes in the road, sometimes, in what people perceive to be their grass,
Yes.
within our rights of way. But it does disturb, sometimes between curb and sidewalk, sometimes behind sidewalk.
Yeah.
Sometimes sidewalk itself will be removed.
So sorry for the ignorance, poles, lines, none of that.
Underground.
All facilities, yes.
I just rolled through Manham Township. So it depends on which neighborhood, which crew you get. So some neighborhoods, it's super smooth and
Mhm.
they're in and out. There's almost no disturbance.
Yeah.
Other neighborhoods, not so much. So
Yeah.
depends on which crew.
On the good news, if they hit your dog fence, they actually come to you with cash and they hand you cash. I have a neighbor that received $200 cash. Not a check, cash. So, yeah, so not probably the best business.
Like, do they wink when they hand it?
So,
Expecting that our officers are gonna
yes.
be dealing with issues as they come up. So, you hear about them as well.
Thanks for the example, Court.
Our HVAC replacement project, which the board had authorized actually back in 22. We ordered the equipment. It's, arrived. Some of it's arrived. We expect the rest of it to arrive this week. Or early next. And the actual installation will start next Monday. So, that parking lot where employees typically park daytime, we're gonna be parking out front for a few days while that is going on. There's spaces available for those that are here to pay a bill or get a permit or whatever they're doing. So hopefully that'll go smoothly. And last thing I just want to mention, township staff is continuing to be engaged in the efforts to prepare for next year's U.S. Women's Open at Lancaster Country Club, which the best golf holes are in East Lampeter, just so everybody's aware of that.
We already do that. Until 10.
It is a big deal. This is an international event. They're coming to Lancaster again. They did it 9 years ago and it was a big success. They set the attendance record and it hasn't been broken in 9 years. So hopefully we'll be the first ones to break that. So, it does require effort. Sure, as best we can, that it's a success. There will be some issues that I expect will come before the board. Agreements related to reimbursements. There's probably going to be a request to there a no-fly area during the event for drones, and other flying things. So you'll be involved. The board will be involved in those things as they come up too.
About parking, do they bring up issues of parking?
Parking and transportation is always a big deal with how this goes, and some of that has been unresolved at this point as to where that's going to be and how it's going to be set up. But we'll be.
I mean, I know CV came in to the game there a little bit late last time and saved them a great deal by and actually getting some good.
Yeah, the thing that's a little different this time is that it's right at the end of the school year, not after the school year. So it's the week of Memorial Day, basically, when the tournament happens. So school's still in session. So perhaps, with Saturday and Sunday needs, they might be able to use school facilities like that, but during the week, I would expect they wouldn't be able to.
Right.
So the last time it was done, it was after school was over. It was in July. So a little different this time as a result.
Well, CV's got additional parking actually from some of the things they've done, but I knew that was going to be an issue with during the weekday. Yeah. I was wondering if on the side of roads, wherever, people parking, and if they were approaching, could be public property, could be township controlled property that people would be.
We did not have that problem
Mhm.
9 years ago. I'm hoping that the system is set up as well, so that we don't have that problem.
Right.
But, yeah, if we have to do some enforcement to keep roads clear, we'll have to do that.
It was a superbly organized event last time. Can't imagine it's gonna be any different.
Yeah, the only other difference that I can notice at this point is that last time they used a third-party consultant to do all the organizing. This time it's actually USGA staff that's doing it. So better, worse, same, different.
The same gentleman that did it last time is not back.
He's not.
Man, he was good. He was good.
Which I recall reimbursement issues that took some time to get worked out. That all did eventually get worked out.
It did.
Yeah, it just took a little time,
It did.
yeah, a few letters.
We're hoping to be in front of that
Yeah,
this time.
sure.
And,
You should call Chantel.
Get my cash.
Get the cash going right away.
I'm hoping my 4 votes gets in the paper, not the cash statement.
You gotta Hope I mentioned it 4 times, the cash. So just in case your cash comes up in the story, it was the cash that got in the story. Thank you for cash.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Corey, second by Ethan. Those in favor? Aye. Oops. Thank you.